everyone. Welcome to Heart Center Tarot. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. And I have with me for the show my co-host, David from Tarot by the Bay.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. So welcome to Taco Tuesdays. This is where we talk about what's going on.
And in the spirit of the name, we're just chatting in the background. I look at 601. What's going on? We were doing work. We were discussing what's going to be on the show, clearly.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was like, oh. So there. So thank you all of you for being here. I noticed the notices just went out. So thank you for those of you that are here and that are joining us, and lots of stuff happening. So
some small news events happened this afternoon.
Just a little. Yeah. I don't. Yeah, most of you probably didn't even pay attention to it. Yeah,
I have both of my shows recorded to go up at midnight tonight, and they were gonna go up last night, and they're gonna have to get kicked back another day because what happened in Colorado is worthy of jumping the line, as it were.
Absolutely. So yeah, for those who didn't hear, Colorado got a lot of snow. Wow. Was that not the item you were talking about?
Well, it is wintertime.
Yes. Yeah. So we had the Colorado Supreme Court said, hey, you need to take Trump off the ballot. So, yeah. Hello, Kevin. Hello, Becky. Hello, Rose Blue, Janet P, Aunt Squirrely, all of you that are here. Hello. So what's your take on that?
With the Colorado?
Yeah.
As you and I were discussing a little bit earlier offline, I had done a reading on this previously, and what I kind of got was that I thought most of the states would say he couldn't run because, duh, insurrection, hello. But that the cases would go to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court wouldn't actually rule on them until after the election. Now, I'm going to reread on that because things have changed with what's going on now. But obviously, the Colorado case is going to get appealed, and it's going to go to the Supreme Court. And the Colorado case is not the same as what happened in Wisconsin and Michigan, where they said he could be on there. So the Supreme Court needs to sort of decide what's going on. I was just watching Brian Tyler Cohen and Glenn Kirshner on one end. And for folks who watch TikTok, there's a guy named Legal Dad who's a lawyer in Arizona to provide a counterpoint. Legal Dad seems to feel that the Supreme Court will rule that Trump has not had due process. 14th Amendment, Section 3, and you have to prove that he's committed insurrection. And right now, there's no court case saying he's committed insurrection. But to me, that's where the Jack Smith March 4th January insurrection case comes in, because that's going to be the one that proves he has insurrection. Now, to get to that, you have to get the Presidents Aren't Kings presidential immunity case that's in front of the Supreme Court now, because you don't want to delay the March 4th case. So there's this great, interesting domino effect that's happening. And, as tired as I get with all this actually excites me, because it's like I can now start to see what has to happen in the order it has to happen. And now it's just, how quickly does it go on down the line? It could very well be that that Trump gets disqualified come June, and he might have won the Republican nomination by June.
Yes.
So he'd still be on the ballot. He could do really well, like Sterling says, but it doesn't matter, because even if Trump won the election, he's not allowed to take office. Those votes don't count. I don't know if that means his VP would be in there, but Trump is sure as heck would not be in there. So it's, and I forget, I think Cash was saying that he saw Trump all deflated in June. So there's all sorts of wild stuff going on here. This is actually a rather exciting time.
It is. It actually is for yeah, for those of us that are looking at the cards, it's like, okay, because this is, you really could make the argument both ways. And you could make a solid argument for, no, he gets taken off and, it doesn't matter. Or, well, yeah, it goes to the Supreme Court, but, the Supreme Court, they could kick it back to the lower court, but why would they? Because like you say, the argument is, well, okay, he's been accused of a lot of things, but he hasn't been indicted of the insurrection, right?
Right.
So, yeah, definitely something that we could you could take a look at, just kind of get a sense for what the energy feels like right now, today, knowing full well that it's going to change by tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that his lawyers are filing the paperwork as we speak.
Yeah, absolutely.
So and imagine they may have to work over the holidays to get this done.
Jack Smith said they could get their presidential immunity briefs filed in by December 23rd. Doesn't have to be December 26th.
Yes.
Oh, but no. So that's the other thing, right? You've got that Supreme Court case. It explains Trump's all outraged that Jack Smith is trying to push that thing along. And if you think about it, he doesn't. If Trump felt like the Supreme Court was going to say presidents are kings and they can't be held criminally liable, he would want to push that case right through the Supreme Court, because think of all the millions he'll save on lawyers. So he clearly doesn't believe he can win that case. This is a delay case, but it's really to delay the March 4th case, because that March 4th case is going to impact what the Supreme Court does with the election, whether Trump gets kicked off the ballots for insurrection. It's really coming into focus. And I saw Kevin's comment. Yeah, I don't necessarily think the Supreme Court will make the right decision. I think they're going to try and punt, and I think the punting is going to be, well, he hasn't been convicted yet. If he does get convicted, I don't see how the Supreme Court can not rule in favor of the Constitution. I don't see how they can do it. That doesn't mean they won't try, but I don't see how they can succeed.
Yeah. So Danielle Spencer, that's what we're chatting about, is Trump being off the Colorado ballot, but we think it's going to be appealed. So we're just going to toss a few cards on that. But thank you everyone that has come in. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you're on David's channel, hello, welcome. David and I can see all your comments, but if you're in either his chat or my chat, you'll only be able to see the comments that are in that particular chat, right? So we can see all of them. Welcome all of you here. And like I said, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And when you're done doing that on David's channel, come on over to mine and do the same thing on mine.
Awesome.
Yeah. There. All righty.
That's the first card that's, as I'm overhand shuffling, comes flipping out. So the question is going to be, how is the Supreme Court going to view this Colorado case, given the current situation here? Entertainment purposes only and all that. Let's see if we can get that Hierophant card to come up. They're waiting. It's kind of a...
Yeah,
we got the Nine of Wands here. So this is that here comes that bus that they know has been coming for a while, and they know it's coming to them. And there's a lot of disappointment. Is that going to be us that's disappointed? Is that going to be them that's disappointed? I think Trump hasn't given the conservatives much wiggle room to play with. Justice is going to be served on this. I don't think Trump has given them, as much as they want to help him, as much as whoever is bought and paid for a Supreme Court justice, they don't have the cover. They can't do this. They want to. And again, I think they will kick it down the road. But if the Jack Smith case gets resolved,
Yeah.
Okay, so in the past, we've got the Five of Coins. This is going to be Trump being kicked off of ballots. And, you could also make an argument this is kind of like the non-peaceful handing over. But this is Trump being kicked off the ballots and the court cases coming their way. This is also, these folks do owe Trump in that sort of, at least in Trump's mind,
Yeah.
they owe him. And but again, they just don't have the opportunity to do it. Current situation is going to be the strength card. All eyes are going to be on them, and they're going to have to rule on this. And they are going to have to be if they're going to kick this thing down the road, they have to be as clever as they can be. They're going to have to really walk a fine line with the letter of the law and some interpretations of what the law means.
Yep.
Overarching energy is the Tower. It may not matter. It might just be that if Trump is convicted of, they might say, okay, we have to wait till Trump's convicted of insurrection, but overall this is the Tower moment. This is going to be Kim from Intuit View's King Kong moment of Trump falling down. If the Supreme Court says he cannot be president because he committed insurrection, we're done.
Yep.
Victory. Is that victory for the Supreme Court or for us? I think it's going to be for us. Oh God. And then underneath it all is the return to the good old days. I think in some ways the Supreme Court's going to look at it like, we wanted the 6 cups. We wanted to do something good for you, to return the favor. You gave us nothing to work with. And for them to try and rule in Trump's favor is going to be so patently fraudulent and biased, they can't do it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm seeing with this in its current iteration. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I think that I agree. Yes. And I'll tell you why. If they rule in his favor now, like you said, I think that what they have to consider is, do we take the win now, or do we wait and take a possible win later? It's a gamble, because they can't have it both ways. They can't say, no, he can, he's on the ballot, but then if he loses, there's nothing that they could do to help him along. So the idea that, I think that's what they're feeling. That's how they're looking at things, is, okay, do we go for the win now, or do we let this one slide and say, okay, no, you can take him off the ballot, so that they can rule in his favor later. So I get the 4 of Cups. There's somebody's not going to be happy with obviously with the decision, but it's like they have to almost walk away from this one and say, we're going to let this one pass, and we're going to wait for the next one to come in. I then get the 5 of Swords, the fighting, a lot of talk, a lot of bullying, whatnot, a lot of emotion also with the King of Cups. And the emotion is all about the Emperor. It's all about the cult of Trump, and trying to kind of do his bidding without actually doing his bidding. And they're trying to find a way so that everyone is going to walk away happy, and that you can't do that. It's not going to happen. I think that in this case, ultimately, I think that with the Hierophant, the government wins out, right? That the ruling goes against him, and it just, in some ways, and I don't know if I'm able to express myself properly with this, but I think that, like I said, the decision is, do we do we rule against him now and rule for him later, or do we rule for him now and take the chance that we may not have to rule on something later? But
Yeah, the Republicans are really in a pickle now. Again, this is
yeah,
all new to all to a lot of us, well, all of us actually. And
yeah,
I'm not a lawyer, nor do I role play one of my D&D game campaign.
yeah,
But um, right now, the urgency of the decision that they need to make is based on Trump's name being printed on primary ballots, and that's
yeah,
happening quickly because if they don't rule soon enough, his name's going to be printed on primary ballots because everything stayed until the Supreme Court rules once it gets kicked up to the Supreme Court.
yeah,
So Trump's name could be on the primary ballots, which means that Trump could win the primary and likely right now will win the primary for the Republicans. Now imagine, if you will, like June, July, Trump wins the primary and say Jack Smith's case finally wraps up. He's shown to have committed insurrection, and now they sue Donald Trump in federal court, basically saying, he cannot run in the general election because of the 14th Amendment, Section 3, and that would disqualify him. But now the general election ballots are printed up
yeah,
because Trump is the Republican candidate. So now any Republican has to be a write-in. Or maybe the Republicans try and scramble to name another primary candidate, or Joe Biden dies, and now the Democrats had Biden on the ticket, and now
yeah,
Biden's not there. There's all sorts of stuff that I don't know what the answer is, but we're probably going to find out this summer.
yes, yeah, yeah. I think so. I think so. Absolutely. Hey, Book. Book wants to know if you are a dungeon master.
Yes, I often get the the role of DM.
There you go. There you go. So yeah, we did have we hey Celtics here. We did have a couple questions. Um and along with that, yeah, here's one. If Colorado decision goes to the Supreme Court, will Clarence Thomas recuse himself?
Let's see. Would he recuse? I'm curious if the new ethical rules for the Supreme Court would take place in that one. My gut tells me no, if he can avoid it. But maybe the ethics rules would force him to. Let's see what the cards say. 4-carder.
Yeah.
On this one. The Chariot case goes forward. And this is the card underneath, is the winner takes all card. That tells me he is not kicking himself off that case. He's not. He has no intention of getting off on that case. He considers himself a senior member of the court, and he is. And this is a novel case that he wants to be on. Now, the thing here is that he absolutely should recuse himself from this case because he. I just did a reading on Clarence Thomas and his lack of integrity. Here's my lack of integrity card. He lacks integrity. His wife was involved in the January 6th festivities, and he should recuse himself. But he knows that this is a winner-takes-all case, and he is not going to recuse himself. If anything, if this court case was decided 8-1, he's going to write the letter. He's going to be the one that voted in support of Trump. He'll write the dissenting opinion on all these cases.
Yeah, he hold on, I just want to double check something here. There I get the 5 of Wands, followed closely by the 6. Oh no, that's a 6 of Swords. I was reading that as Wands. Yeah, with this 6 of Swords. There's going to be a lot of infighting about whether or not he should. And I think that there's going to be some that are on the Supreme Court that are going to be encouraging him to, no, you need to get off of this. No, absolutely. He's not going to. There's it's going to be like a realignment, almost with Trump. There's not, if anybody out there doesn't think that Clarence Thomas is absolutely glued to Trump's hip, yeah, the page of wands, absolutely, he is there. Yeah, he is going to be doing Trump's bidding. No, he's not going to be recusing himself. He's going to want to go down in history as being the guy who was there, right? So, no, no. I don't think so. He should.
I would
You're
be
right.
happy to be wrong on that one, but I am not seeing it.
Yeah. No, yes, Laura Hammond. He is bought and paid for. That's He's not going to go against his beloved, right? Absolutely. And hey, Sherry, Trancing with Spirit, Patricia Franzino, hello. Thank you, Water Lilies, and Jamie Johnson. Those of you that have come in, if I have not said hello to you, please know that, we can see that you've come in, and mentally we're sending you greetings, honestly. Honestly. So glad to have you here. So, and we did have, wait a minute, there was a question. Did I star that? No, I didn't star that. So I'm going to go and take a look at it. Bear with me. Entertainment music can be. Yeah. Here we go. This was something that I had on my list of things that we would take a look at. Was a federal judge orders the unsealing of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein. And apparently they are going to be, releasing the names of the victims and some of the people involved and so on. I'm not crazy about the victims' names being released. I don't, for those that have not been identified, I think that they should remain anonymous. However, a lot of them have already spoken out publicly, so it's kind of a hard one. The question that I had posed to David was, is this an opportunity for Ghislaine Maxwell to go back into court and try to get her sentence reduced? So, and I think the argument that that she would probably make would be, well, this information would have helped in my original case. It wasn't out. So now that it's out, I need to have it reviewed.
Yeah, there's I hadn't thought about that, appealing the sentence after this information's been released. I came up as I was overhand shuffling, 2 cards popped out. Judgment and then the 10 of Wands. So the judgment was made, and it might be difficult to overturn or get it changed, but let's see. Will she appeal the sentencing given that this new information is out?
Yes.
Or can she offer anything of value to reduce her sentence on appeal? Okay, so she's going to try and take this to court.
Yeah.
And she's going to have some success. Well, you know what? This could also be the government releasing the names. Now you've got the women in here, but you also have the powerful men. No, but this is Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah.
And it could be that, okay, now that they've ordered this, there's going to be a celebration. The women are going to celebrate because the Johns are going to get named. But Miss Maxwell also stands to benefit from this as well, even though she financially benefited from exploiting these women.
Yes.
Okay. And so that's the underlying thing. So we've got the name release. We have Ghislaine underneath it all. Let's see what we've got. In the past, Queen of Swords. In some ways, this is Ghislaine being a Queen of Swords, and emotionlessly, with no emotion, she allowed all these things to happen. To her, it's just, this is what Epstein and these men need, and you women are going to be the ones to give it to them. That's just the way it is. Buck up, buttercup. But I think the judge also, this could also be the judge saying, yeah, good goose, kettle meat pot, goose meat gander, you're going to be cruel to them. I'm going to be ruthless to you. Current situation is the hanged man. Is she a willing
hangman too?
Yeah, is that a willing sacrifice, or is that looking at the? I think this is going to be looking at the case in a new light. You could make the argument that she, since Epstein was dead, that she was scapegoated for this one. But I think she's going to appeal. The hangman's going to be, I want my case re-reviewed or my sentence re-reviewed, given this new information that's out. There's going to be a big push. I think there's a big push on her part to get this case reviewed, maybe even a new trial, given the information that's out. But I don't know if the new trial, and I say the new trial because the hedge is about repeating things. If you don't learn your lesson, you're bound to repeat it. Now, is this Ace of Pentacles full gold or something valuable? I think it's something valuable here with this information that comes out. The lesson to be learned is the King of Cups. I think. Okay. This is the Johns. These are the Johns. I was wondering, is this the judge? Is this Jeffrey Epstein? This is the judge. This is the Johns. The Johns are being named, and there's some big money behind these names. And almost like her asking for a sentence reduction gets lost in the chaff of who the big money is. Your Prince Andrews and Bill Gateses and folks like that whose names are going to show up on this list. Outcome is the devil. This hanged man might be, when those names are released, these guys are toast. This may have nothing to do with her case. I think what all this reading I'm having here is the court's releasing it. Women are celebrating because these men are going to be sacrificial lambs. They're wealthy, powerful men. They abuse their wealth and their power. They chain themselves to Jeffrey Epstein. They absolutely did these crimes to these underage girls, and they're going to pay the price. And underneath it all is Ghislaine Maxwell. So I don't know if I don't know if she will get a reduction in sentence. She might be even more vilified, because as these names come out, I think people are going to be horrified. As I recall, Linda G and company saying there's going to be a lot of names we recognize, and a lot of them are going to be Republicans, but you will see Democrats on there too.
So, absolutely.
Because in the end of the day, it's about powerful, wealthy men and exhibiting power over women. And your political party does not necessarily prevent you from doing stuff like that. Although I think the Republicans are more likely in a mindset to do something like that than Democrats.
Yeah. No, it's anything having to do with that, kind of the sexual abuse or whatever. It's not really about the sex. It's about the power. It's about the, this is what I can do to you. And it's, I know it's a touchy subject because it can be triggering and whatnot. I start off with in terms of thinking, what will she do with this information? Can she? I think that it goes to the agreements that she had with all these people, right? The sort of, I'll get you what you want. And, it's between us, right? I go to the Three of Swords. I don't really think that this is he's going to try. I don't think that it's going to work. And I think that it's not going to work because the men that are involved do wield a good deal of power. And I think that they're going to be able to get into the ear of those people that they need to well, they can't get their names removed because it's part of it, but they can certainly put enough pressure on the people that might be willing to take a chance on Ghislaine Maxwell and having her reopen all that. So yeah, I get the hangman as well. This is it. They're going to need to find different ways to account for why their names are on the list, right?
And
It's
don't
going to
believe
be
a damn one of them.
yeah, yeah. So 9, yeah, the 9 of wands, this is, kind of that they're yeah, they thought that they were okay. They're not. They really didn't believe that this was ever going to come out. And I think that they are going to be putting a lot of pressure on anybody that they can to decrease the visibility, right? That of what they have done. It does. Oh, there's a good deal of fear in here,
Yeah.
right? A good deal of fear. That can't come out. How do I keep my name out of it? Yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of ruin, reputational ruin, probably financial ruin for a lot of these men. And I assure you, every darn one of them is going to say that, yeah, the name was on it, but I didn't do any of that. And
no,
I wouldn't believe any of them. Yeah, there might be the occasional person who is innocently involved in that one, but you're going to be more right than wrong if you assume they're all guilty.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, yeah, there's going to be Democrats on that list as well, absolutely. And I mean, this is what the Republicans have done in the past, in very, very recent past, is, well, maybe I was on the list, but look, so is Hunter Biden. It's right. So it never mind what I did, but look who else is there. So yeah, absolutely. Okay, just wanted to go up and see. I think I might have missed. Yeah. Interesting. Laura Hammond says, yeah, if you're interested, look up One Nation under blackmail. Yeah, exactly. When it comes to these kind of people, yeah, money talks. Sylvia Munoz says it's the anniversary of President Biden's late wife, Nelia, and daughter Naomi's death. Is President Biden and Hunter okay? A reporter has a problem with Hunter being with his father.
Let me guess what news network he might represent. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let's take a quick look. Yeah, it's wow. That would be awful. Imagine losing your wife and your daughter just before Christmas.
And then, yeah, them reporters saying, oh, Hunter Biden's with his dad. They're clearly up to something. I'm sure Joe Biden just rolls his eyes and rolls with it, but it's
yeah. Okay. How are Joe Biden and Hunter Biden doing today?
It's a hard day. 10 of Wands, hard day.
Yeah.
But it's also a new day. And I think it's one of those things that it's a hard day because he misses his wife and daughter. But at the same time, he's got a new wife, but he has kids. He has grandkids. Yeah. He's thankful for what he does have. And I think, you know what it is? He wishes he could be sharing it with her. That's why it's a hard day. There's a lot of turmoil going in. So I imagine he's got a lot of conflicted emotions. Probably doesn't even know about the reporter being a troll.
Yeah.
But there's so much going on that, especially going on in the world. I'm sure he'd love to just take a day off work and focus on his late wife and daughter, but he just doesn't have the opportunity. Yeah. Fool card. her passing sent him on a new journey. He was on a different. Their loss
Yes.
put him on a different path, and the current situation it's closing out the world. Again, there's world events that he's focusing on right now, which is preventing him from focusing on this.
Yep.
But it's also, they started off life together, but it ended way too soon. We basically go from the fool to the world, the beginning of the journey to the end in 2 cards.
Yep.
Oh wow, star card. So, in heaven, love of his life. No, again, no offense to Jill Biden, but his first wife and daughter in there, very much on his mind and in his heart. Probably even he wonders when he's next. When does he join them? When does he see them again?
Yeah.
And he's probably torn. Part of him probably is like, I'm so done. I'd really like to be there, but I've got this necessary evil. This job I need to do.
Yeah.
I have to attend to this country. I have to attend to the mayhem that's going on in the world. I don't have time to be Joe Biden, the person. I only have time to be Joe Biden, the president.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with you. And Patricia said that, Joe Biden had said in an interview that he believes that it was his wife, Neela, who sent him Jill. I have no doubt. He had another daughter with her. The 2 boys told him, you have to marry her.
Did you have the daughter before they were married?
Yeah.
Oh, where's the shotgun? I think both are right.
Yeah.
Where's my pearls? Where are my pearls?
Yes.
The immoral Joe Biden getting that poor woman pregnant.
I know.
The idea that shows you the immoral Democrats, and they're just having kids out of wedlock. They should be more like Lauren Boebert,
exactly.
just a handy and some vaping out of play, good harmless fun.
Exactly. So I get that. I start off with the magician. I think that yes, you're absolutely right. He does feel like he wishes that he could spend part of the day, being the Joe Biden, the citizen, and mourning that loss. He doesn't really have that opportunity. So the fact that he and Hunter are together, it's almost like yes, we're going to remember them, we're going to mourn them, but we need to look forward. And even though other things are happening, the fact that we're together is kind of statement enough. Like we know what we're going through, so we don't have to discuss it. I do get the Page of Wands in terms of new beginnings. This is something that yes, her passing did put him in a position where he had to look at things differently and sort of come up with bigger, better ideas. The new skill, whatnot. I think at the Ace of Wands, where he had to be very creative in how he moved forward. I think that today he feels very much like this has been kind of taken away from him. The ability to be able to just kind of be a person for a while in a moment like this has been taken away from him.
Yeah.
So but he's certainly, I mean, like you say, no disrespect to Jill Biden. You kind of, you're the death of a spouse is it leaves a lot of unanswered questions and a lot of what ifs and whatnot. But I somehow suspect that Jill is probably very supportive.
Yeah, and the chat was confirming that the daughter was born after the marriage, not before wedlock.
Oh, well,
I
okay.
can let go of my pearls now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Hello, Claudia, Cat Mama, Pisces Greeter. Hello. Thank you for being here. Um, Jamie Johnson, Constance Campbell. Yeah. Yeah. For those of you that are here, absolutely. Ha ha ha. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Now I have a question because I'll see like Pisces Greeter TK. Is Pisces, is your name just Pisces and the Greeter TK is like a title that YouTube throws on there, or is your name like Pisces Greeter TK? I'm curious.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Because I see that pop up, so I'm just curious what gives the name. She's not going to answer me. She's too busy.
No,
Oh, she has been absolutely everybody in the chats.
Yeah, totally. You can let us know. You can let us know. Yeah. Okay. Oh, all righty. This one. Oh, she says TK stands for Teresa Cole, my name.
Okay, so your full YouTube name really is Pisces Greeter space TK. Okay, yep. That's what I was asking. All right, thank you.
Yep, there you go. Yeah, and hey, Merry Christmas to all of you. And hope you're going to have a great holiday season. Hello, Sunflower Down Under, and yeah, just to remind you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And for those of you that are here from David's channel, I really, really appreciate you coming and listening to us and supporting both our channels. And I'm a little biased. I think that David does some awesome readings, and so I have to check in on the things that he's downloading at 1 a.m. my time. And if I'm up, yeah, I double check. Oh, what's he talking about now? So
and then over the weekend hitting you with my doppelganger.
Yes. Yeah. For those of you, if you haven't seen it, you got to see. Yeah, David and his twin brother, identical twin brother.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did two readings with Gary over the weekend, and normally my readings are 15 to 20 minutes long, and both of these were 40 minutes long because it's kind of like I'll talk and then I'll pause and look at him like, okay, jump in, which is necessarily going to double the length of the readings.
Totally. And I've been bugging him. Little ghost running around,
his while we were doing the reading, his sister-in-law called and asked if she could drop off her two sons while they were going to do some shopping or something. So they dropped off the boys, and one of them is about 6, just obliviously just walked in the background, doink, 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 doink. And we tried to pause the camera just because, not that anybody's going to be creepy, but there's no reason to record when you can pause, let the 6-year-old go by, and then get right back on again. But yeah, you see this little head go bouncing by.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, you're right, and you're absolutely right. Totally oblivious to whatever else is going on. My mind is focused. I need that glass of milk, or I need this, or whatever. But I'm very focused on what. I laughed when I saw that. I laughed. So yeah, very, very good. Okay, now for what I'm going to bring up now, I will let you guys know that if you're triggered by the discussion about abortion and fetuses and whatnot.
I was swearing when she read this story to me.
Oh,
thinking about people being triggered.
Yeah, talk about being triggered, and I will read this to you as kind of it. I found it because I okay. All right. Here we go. An Ohio woman who had sought treatment at a hospital before suffering a miscarriage and passing her non-viable fetus in her bathroom now faces criminal charges, said her attorney. Her name is Brittany Watts, 33, of Warren, has been charged with felony abuse of a corpse. Miss Watts suffered a tragic and dangerous miscarriage that jeopardized her own life. Rather than focusing on healing physically and emotionally, she was arrested and charged with a felony, said her lawyer. Miss Watt's case is pending before the Turnbull County Grand Jury. I have advised her not to speak publicly until the criminal matter has resolved. Though the coroner's office report said the fetus was non-viable and had died in the womb, Watt's case highlights the extent to which prosecutors can charge a woman whose pregnancy has ended, whether by abortion or miscarriage.
Insert curse words here. Those.
Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah. Trying to keep I sound like you're somebody saying wrestle.
Exactly.
The Democrats should take this, make campaign billboards, commercials, and just blast the airwaves with this all summer long and into the election season.
Yes.
To remind women what is at stake here, because this is, you've got outrageous and then you've got something off the charts. This is off the charts. This makes me livid.
Yes. Yes. And I'll tell you, there in the world, there are hundreds of thousands of women who will have spontaneous abortions, even before they realize, or the spontaneous miscarriages, even before they realize they're pregnant and have no idea. And very often what they will say, oh, well, my period was, it was heavier than it normally is.
Yeah.
Right? So that is the body's way of recognizing that the joining of the sperm and the egg is not viable. And the body expels what it sees as being non-viable. So you're now going to hold women responsible for something that their body does naturally. And it was designed to do that in order to keep the female viable so that she could reproduce again. Okay. So now we've got some nasty old white men who get in there and who are going to, what are you going to do? Are you going to toss me in prison and get my physical body to try to agree that it shouldn't do what it does naturally when it was designed to do? Do you know what? Am I making any sense?
Yeah, I know exactly where you're going with it. I can't even think. There's no male analogy for this.
No.
It's not like you can say, okay, if a guy masturbates, then that's like child abuse, right? Because you're wasting all this sperm that could have been used to impregnate a woman. But that's not even comparable.
No.
Like, no. Oh, if a man has bacon, does that mean he's committed animal abuse against a pig because he pooped it out 6 hours later? That still is not comparable. This is just, livid is not even a strong enough word.
I know.
It's like a 4, and I need a word that's like a 12. And I don't know if those words exist. What I need is a baseball bat and about 10 minutes alone with each of the people that brought up this case. That's what needs to happen. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm more of a blunt force trauma kind of guy than a shoot him with a gun or stab him with a knife. It's just something more satisfying. Entertainment purposes only. I've never blunt force trauma anybody like that. Although I think I'd like the opportunity. Let's see.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And there was I had when I read that, I had a few choice words, none of them that I can repeat, about these men and what it is that they are trying to do with this kind of law. That
Sure.
my body, it's my body. I do have control over it, or I should have control over it. If, like you say, if a man can't be charged with um
Is
okay,
the,
the
is the husband an
words fail
accessory?
me. So yeah, words fail me right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Does this mean the husband's an accessory to the abuse because he
yeah.
contributed to that? I mean, okay, so just are we going to ask a question on this, or are we just going to rant?
uh, yeah. You know what? Just let's see. What is the outcome with the charges? Are they actually going to go through with these charges, or are cooler heads going to prevail? Like, yeah, what?
Okay.
Yeah, what's the outcome of these
This and
charges?
this is my mom and grandmother card, because when I remember when I took my lessons with Lena and she asked me what I saw on that card, it's like I always see a mom and a baby. That
Oh,
coin to me is a baby on her lap,
yeah,
and it's a mom or grandma with a grandchild, and bringing that child into this world, and they're trying to crucify this woman for something that she had no control over.
yeah,
um, it's an absolutely insane ruling. She had no control over this. This is not something she would have willingly chose. It's something that happened. um, she wanted to have a family, for God's sake.
yes,
And
yeah,
now, um, much like this woman in Texas that
yes.
that
Cape
had
Cod.
the trisomy 18, she is now being put on a journey and a path. Now, as twisted as this sounds, this is probably a soul contract that both of these women have signed up for.
Yes.
If the world went this direction, this was a crossroad that they mapped out, and the world went that direction. So they are the ones who spiritually volunteered to do this. And I realize that sounds like the most effed up logic you've ever heard in your life. It's the only thing that keeps me sane sometimes. And I have to admit that I still think it's effed up logic, but okay, fine. If you want to look for a spiritual reason, they probably did this, and they will probably start becoming the new female rights advocates. They're going to, just like Justin Pearson and Justin, I forget the other guy's name, in Tennessee that got booted out.
Oh, yes, yes. Yeah. The two
The two Justins. These women are going to be that same thing. We've got this whole new crop of activists that they're creating. What a heart-wrenching thing she had to go through with this. And then to be basically charged with a felony on top of that. Things are going to be changing quickly on this. There's going to be a lot of reporting. Again, they're trying to sacrifice her. I would not be surprised if the DA drops the charges on this, because I think this is going to be public outrage. The Eight of Wands. It's going to be people saying enough is enough. You've got to be kidding me.
Yep. I think so. This is the Ace of Wands coming up with something. Trying to come up with a novel new idea, which is what they thought that they were doing with this. Okay, no, 10 of Wands. It is a burden. This isn't something that they could hope to win. I don't think under any circumstance. I don't think that there's any kind of an argument that you could make that someone would say, oh yes, absolutely, yeah, this woman needs to spend some time in jail. So no, this is a heavy burden, and it's something that is going to come back on them, because they are trying to manipulate something that they have no foundation for. This. Seven of Cups. This is the illusion delusion, right? Is they think that, yeah, they can do something. No. Ultimately, I end up with the lovers, and I think that that I agree with you that it's going to be, we're going to soon be hearing, upon review of the evidence, and upon discussions with the coroner, and so on and so forth. No, no, all charges will be dropped. Yeah, 5 of Cups. Yeah, they're going to walk away.
Okay.
They're going to
I'm sorry, I
walk
was
away.
laughing. Laura Hammond's comment, Davis's comment, an erection becomes an assault.
There you go.
Maybe for the
Yeah.
ladies in Hunter Biden's life.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, absolutely. I think this is absolutely insane, incredible. And, for those of you who have not heard me say, this totally, absolutely reeks of The Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah.
And I, I don't know how many times I have thought to myself, what kind of an imagination, and yeah, the Canadian author, now her name has totally escaped me, who originally wrote The Handmaid's Tale.
Mm.
Ah, she's like a Canadian icon, and my mind just totally drew a blank. That she could conceive of something like that and write about it. And I remember her saying in an interview that, yeah, Margaret Atwood, thank you, Laura Hammond, yes, that she said she felt sick to her stomach as she was writing some of what she was writing, which I totally understand. So,
Agreed.
I know. Yeah, I know, Karen. Yeah, Karen says she couldn't even finish reading the book. I totally understand that. And yeah, I started to watch the season after I'd heard some people talking about it, and I heard them, talk and talk and talk about it, and I figured, well, just give it a look see, because I know Margaret Atwood is very, she can be very out there, right? So yeah, I tuned in and started watching it, and it was like I was mesmerized. I couldn't look away. I could totally understand the motivation, um, for a lot of the characters. And yeah, it's almost like the GOP got their hands on the book and they started reading it and went, hang on a minute, just a sec here. So,
This person's got the right idea.
okay, guys, hear me out. What if,
Yeah.
it kind of feels like that's what they're doing, because so many times what it is that they're doing, you can point back to that book and go, yeah, it's in there. Yeah, it's in there. So anyway, that's enough. That's enough of that. I need to kind of get out of this energy, but I had to cover it because it is so effing wild.
Yeah.
So effing unbelievable that, yeah, had to get in there. So anyway, we are at 59 minutes and counting, and I think that we can kind of, yeah, and end up here, and everyone have a super, yeah. Now that we've discussed this, go have a great night.
Yeah, go have a great night. Let's relax,
Seriously, actually, you know what, let's we can think about how upset Trump must be that the last little bit, any time that he has taken anything to court, he's lost,
Yep.
lost.
And Judge Engeron just absolutely
Oh,
fried him with a ruling yesterday, basically saying, I can't believe he actually wrote it down. It's like, I guess when you spend $1 million on a witness, they'll tell you anything.
yes.
Ay, ay, ay. Ouch.
Yeah.
So,
Payback. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, the witness is not credible. And, at the end of the day, a lie is still a lie. It
yep.
doesn't matter who gets behind it. Yeah. And, okay. Beck says, how about a community card? Yeah, let's end on a positive note. Okay. What is it? What is it that folks can look forward to over the holidays? Yeah. And I'm going to put the tarot away, and I think that I'm going to do a.
For me, I've got the Page of Pentacles. Go forward with your message. It's it's funny watching the Charlie Brown Christmas, and Sally would say, or at least would say, it's the gift getting season.
Yes.
It's about what you give out, and it's not necessarily about the money or the size of the gift. It's about the value.
Yes.
And sometimes the best gift you can give isn't a monetary value. It's a gift of value, time, an experience, something along those lines. So, it's a time to spend with loved ones, but set aside a day to spend with friends. For Thanksgiving, for instance, I went to my mom's house for Thanksgiving. My eldest sister was there. My brother was hosting Thanksgiving, and my other sister was ill. So it was just a small group of us. But then that following Saturday, I had a second Thanksgiving where we invited friends over. And so you can have spend the time with family, but spend the time with friends too, because you're born with your family, but you get to choose your friends.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I get Ascendant Masters. And the message with the Ascendant Masters is devote spirit with specific intentions, or devoted spirits with specific intentions. So this is, like David said, it has everything to do with your intention, what your intention is. So, put it out there that not only are you going to have a great time over the holidays, you're going to get together with friends. There's going to be some fantastic discussions. We're going to share some memories. It is all going to be absolutely fantastic and wonderful. And then put that towards the new year, right? Put your intention forward that it is going to be a great year, and it will. It will. Get your popcorn. Get your popcorn. Order it now, and be ready. But yeah, stay positive. Exactly. Good things will happen. And as a matter of fact, this I will show this to you because I kept it. Okay. And ordered Chinese food last night. And this is and I don't know if you can read it.
Everybody get the lottery numbers down.
Yeah. This is, well,
still can't read it.
I don't think that it will come across. Anyway, I'll tell you, the message here is good thoughts make life happier. And I thought, that's absolutely perfect. Yeah, good thoughts. So with good thoughts and good cheer and all that kind of stuff, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks, which is the very early part of January. Just double check to make sure that David isn't away and all that kind of good stuff.
I should be back on January 2nd.
There you go. Perfect. So we will see you guys then. Thank you again for spending your time with us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, all the very best to everyone for Christmas, New Year's, and anything and everything else in between.
Thank you,
And
everyone.
David, thank you. Thank you again for doing this with me. I really, really enjoy the energy. And I just, yeah.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
Yes. Wonderful. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.